What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now I'm Alex. In this video, I want to go over my thoughts and impressions on Predator Hunting Grounds before releases. So this is kind of like my preview series. I do it a little bit differently. I don't necessarily even call them previews because I kind of just talk about, again, my thoughts, what I'm thinking about the game before releases. I don't go into super heavy specifics. However, for a game like Predator, I probably could and I probably will in this video just because I played so much of it in the trial. If you guys are new to the channel, well, then you may not know how excited I am for this game. I'm very, very excited. And for those that have been with us for a long time, have supported all these Predator videos, firstly, thank you guys so much. You guys truly, truly rock. And it's, again, no surprise to you guys at all how pumped I am. I've gone through definitely ups and downs. I've always been very, very supportive. I've always been very optimistic, but also like ready to lay on the criticism on this game if it needs to. And again, it's kind of like tough love. That's how honestly I look at it. We've had videos going back months and months ago where I talked about this game, and you know what? But here's the deal: is the idea of where I am with this game has never really changed. And we've talked about it with the trial too, right? The trial did what it needed to do. I'm very, very excited. And one thing I can add to all the stuff I said in the trial as well is, you know, we're a while now removed we're about a week removed, right, from when the trial ended. And I can tell you, I miss Predator. I miss having that game available to me. When I go on my PlayStation, like at night, I'm going through, I'm trying to beat Doom on the second hardest difficulty, I'm doing all this kind of stuff. I miss scrolling and seeing Predator Hunting Grounds. And you know what? If that game was there, if I saw that logo there, I probably would click it every single time. And to be honest with you guys, though, all kidding aside, that is a really good sign. That's a sign of that the game made an impact on me, or it connected in some way. I truly loved the trial in a lot of ways. Now, were there issues with it? Absolutely, but I miss it. I miss being able to play the game, and so I can't wait to jump back in there. Now, in terms of like a preview, in terms of going over pros and cons, let's do some of that here. The pros is the game is insanely fun. I cannot wait to play it again. I want to play it with the community. I want to live stream it the night that it comes out. I want as many of you guys that are getting the game. This is also kind of an announcement of that too. I'm going to be live streaming the game the first night that it comes out. We'll probably do it several weeks afterwards as well. If you guys want to play with me, you could let me know. You could not let me know that night as well. But we'll try and get into some like private lobbies and we'll all play together. But I love that idea. I want to be able to do that. I want to play with Tyler. I want to do so many different things with it. I'm very, very excited. The game, again, has so much potential to it. And I think we realized that. And to be quite honest with you, over those 2.5 days that we managed, not even two, it was actually like 2 days, 2 days and like 3 hours that we got to play this game, it exponentially, and I keep saying that word, but it's true, it increased in terms of like enjoyment every single minute, every single hour, really every single match. Every match that I jumped in, I felt like we were all getting better. You know, that first night, I keep talking about that story because I do think it's important. That first night, people were just bad. I mean, in general, I was terrible when I actually got to play as the Predator. I mean, I wasted that opportunity. I did such an awful job. Even as the fire team, you know, you're going around the first couple matches, you got no idea what's going on. You're not going to be able to take on a seasoned pro Predator, one that hunts like you've never seen anybody hunt before. You're never going to be able to take him out. But as you continue to go on, both sides get better and the game evolves, the game changes. I was watching cartoons. I don't know if you guys know who those like YouTubers are, like Cartoons, Delirious, Ohm, all them. You know, they played it. They had several videos up on it. I was watching Cartoons. He was destroying people as Predator. He was doing things, by the way, that I hadn't seen the Predator do in any of the times I played. And I played like, oh my God, like 40, 50 matches. I tried to play as much as I possibly could. And even I didn't see things happening the same way as he did. And that just really, really excites me for the future. Again, I really do believe this is a game that can get exponentially better over time. The first day, but let me warn you, because the first day, I think it's going to be pretty reminiscent of the first day of the trial. Not entirely, because you got to think, not everybody, I don't even know if they had numbers out for it. I know the trial did very, very well, but I don't know if they put out any numbers for it. I guarantee you, though, you're going to have people that are playing the base game that never played the trial. In fact, I'd maybe say you'd maybe get more of them. It's hard to predict. Maybe it'd be like 50-50. I wouldn't say like the majority of people that are buying the game have also played the trial. I don't know if I would go that far. You may get some brand new people that have never done it, but I do think it's really a situation you get with any game, any multiplayer game, where the first couple days people are learning, people are getting better over time, and it's not going to be like this hardcore experience. But guess what? As the days, as the weeks, as the months go on, You're going to start weeding through it. The people that are bad, or the people that just, don't like it or can't learn it, or just, turned off by it, they're going to get off. And the people that are going to be on are going to be those seasoned, predator hunting veterans or the fire team veterans. It's going to be really, really cool. So all of that excites me. The gear, the perks, the customization, they have a lot that excites me. And again, just the basic fun level, and the fact that I think that fun, which is hard to put into words, hard to put into like measurements. You can't really measure fun, right? But I do think it's going to increase, because I think the game is going to get more challenging. I think it's going to get more tactical. And from what we all played, I feel like the game can support that. Again, we talked about that in those videos, right? I think it's very important that the game is able to support the players getting better, because if the game doesn't, and what do I mean by that? I mean like consistently giving you better weapons or things like that, right? Like rewarding you, giving you things to grow, so that when you do grow, like the game has them so it can handle it. I think it can do that. And also, again, just kind of like all the basics, like how the fire team specifically works, how the predator works, the objectives, doing stuff like that. Those things all have to be pretty darn rock solid, because when it gets harder for the fire team to do things, the systems in place need to still be there in order for them to do it, right? And as the predator is getting better, it may be harder to do the objectives, but it's still like simple enough where it's like, okay, well, maybe there's just different ways to approach these objectives. Let's figure out a different way of doing it. And the game, I believe, is going to support that. Now, all the positivity out, we got that all done. As you know, I'm very, very excited for it. But now let's get into some of the negatives, because this game does have negatives, and I am still a little bit worried about this game. Here's the deal. The game's servers do not work. Now, yes, I understand. They fixed it to an extent, even by the time, again, I've said this, from Friday night to Sunday night, they got much better, insanely better. So I'm going to give them credit for that. I'm not going to say it's not like they didn't do anything. However, Friday the 13th had problems in the beta, came out day one, had major problems, never really recovered from that. So that is something that, again, they have to hit the mark. In terms of the frame rate, in terms of the graphics, I mean, I saw cartoons. I saw a lot of YouTubers play it on the PC. I do agree. It looks a whole lot better on PC than PlayStation, but that doesn't really excuse them. Like, it doesn't mean like, well, one half of it looks good, so if you have PS4, like, sucks to be you. No, that's not exactly, like, you can see the potential there in the graphics, but the frame rate totally needs to be clocked up. Whatever you need to do, you need to set that frame rate, and it needs to be solid, and it was not for PlayStation. It definitely looked like it was a whole lot better on PC, which is great, but there's going to be crossplay. There's going to be PC players playing with PlayStation 4 players. They have to figure that out. They have to do it right. And then what I've said in videos of like things that I want, things that I don't want in this game, they need to be able to support this game long term. Okay, this is again a game that, yes, people are going to love it. You saw people just adore it in the 2 days that we were able to play it, but don't take any of that for granted. That's like a message directly to Elphonic. We love your game. Your game is very, very solid, but, and I get it, I understand, because Friday the 13th had the lawsuits, had all that kind of stuff. They literally had to stop making DLCs. They couldn't touch anything. All they could do is, fix the game, which, by the way, they didn't exactly do, okay? All they could really do is fix frame rate, fix graphics, fix glitches, stuff like that. And by the way, there are those things in this game. There are glitches. There are, a lot of different things. And I know there's smaller tweaks people want. I know, like, the combi stick is a little too powerful. I know that I saw a lot of people, including Cartoons, even said in his videos, like, the Predator makes way too much noise. You can tell exactly where he's coming from. They gotta try and tone that down. Predator should be more stealthy, right? You really shouldn't see him coming. I agree with all of that. So yes, there are definitely smaller tweaks, and I expect some of them to be implemented in the base game. And beyond that, a couple days, a couple weeks down the line, I would like, additional things. And I guarantee you we'll see nukes, we'll see buffs on different weapons, different, the Predator versus the actual fire team themselves. There's also different classes of the Predator that we weren't really able to play. So it'll be interesting to see when stuff like that happens. Is a Predator just way, way too good in terms of like his base stats? So there are things that, again, there's concerns, and we have to just right now assume that they'll be able to handle them. Now, should we assume that? I mean, that's definitely up to you guys, but there are definitely things that we need to be wary of going in. And again, in terms of the last thing I said, in terms of the supporting it down the line, this is a game that people are going to play. People are going to play for a couple of weeks. People may even play it for a month or two. And, okay, well, now there's literally nothing that comes out after Predator. Literally not. I mean, I guess there are a couple things, but like The Last of Us got delayed. I assume Ghost of Tsushima is getting delayed. We may not get another game until like late June, right? If Last of Us takes Ghost of Tsushima's spot and then Ghost of Tsushima gets shifted back, and this is not just PlayStation, by the way, there's really no games at all coming out. We may not play a game again for like another 2 months. There may not be a brand new game that people that are gamers are getting for 2 months. That's a lot considering we just got done with like 6, 7, 8 really, really big games. Doom, Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy, Resident, all of these games. I'm sure a lot of people bought them. But now Predator's like the last one. So yeah, people will probably play it actually organically more than they would have just because there's nothing else out after it. However, people will not stick with it forever. You got to think about the fall. If next gen does release in the fall, you got to think about that. People will leave this game, and we don't want that. I mean, as a community of a multiplayer game, you don't want people ducking out. Now, again, like it may just leave the most seasoned pros out there, which is good and bad for different reasons. But I mean, my personal approach is I want as many people playing this game as possible. I really want people to support IllFonic, but IllFonic needs to support us. We need events. We need different, again, maybe even more classes or more things for the Predator, more customization, more weapon, anything. All that kind of stuff we need to be brought to this game, in waves, not just once, not just 3 months later you give us something. You see what things like even Doom or Animal Crossing, I think, is the best example. Now, I get it. It's a Switch exclusive. But Animal Crossing, I mean, updates, they have events. Now, the events, that's what kind of Animal Crossing is. I understand that. But it should be the same thing for Predator, honestly. There should be an Alien versus Predator event, which I want to talk specifically about the potential of that in a different video. I think that would be absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to talk about that, so I will make that. But there should be lots of things coming to this game because you got to support it. People will leave. Now, not everybody will leave, but in general, people will, and I don't want that to happen. So, again, overall, this is literally a sum of everything I've talked about in all these other videos. Very excited. This game's got me hyped. I've gone through ups and downs in terms of being very critical on the game, but I was very pleased with the trial. I miss it, which again shows that I'm very, I was really into it. I want to play more of it. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to be playing it the second that it's available to play. All that kind of stuff. I can't wait to make videos. I can't wait to play with you guys online with it. All that kind of stuff. At the same time, we must be cautious. We must be wary. There are mistakes that can happen, and we need to be able to hold, IllFonic, their feet to the fire and say, hey, you know what? Like, there's things that there were problems with the trial, and you need to fix them. And also, you need to, have things in this game that allow us to play it more than just the first couple weeks, right? So all those things are things to keep in mind. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts? What's your preview on this game? Are you guys excited for it? Let me know. All that kind of stuff. If you guys want to play with me online, let me know as well. If you guys just want to, like, just verbally even say it or, type it, obviously, and say, like, yeah, I'd be willing to play with you day one or within the first couple weeks when I live stream and stuff like that, definitely let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. There'll be more Predator videos leading into the game releasing. This isn't going to be the final one. I hope to see you guys on those videos.